Sprint Cup with the NBC Sports app. And get closer with additional camera angles, driver stats, and track information. Watch live anywhere on any device. Find out more at NBCSports.com/live. You mentioned a windy day at Talladega. Those are giant flags, by the way. That is a huge flag located just on the outside of the racetrack, and it is blowing. The wind is blowing from the north to the south, and it's from the turn 3 to turn 2 area here, so it's right in their faces as they're coming down the back straight. We're seeing Matt Kenseth and the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. The 20 just being released. They had penalties that they were serving, 15-minute penalties. Kenseth without there first, so he has served his 15-minute penalty. It was for failing the LIS pre-race in Kansas.
So what Matt Kenseth is doing right here, he obviously is rolling just a little bit of speed. He's trying to time himself with his spotter to get clean racetrack. So the car just went by him. Now he's going to accelerate, leave pit road, and the timing of all that should work out where he has clean racetrack, meaning that he's not getting any drafting help from anybody in front of him. So he sat there and waited and waited and waited. He has completely clean racetrack behind him. He's going to go out and run and figure out what his car can run single car speed, just like his teammates did, which is interesting to me. I think that what I'm starting to see is that maybe these Gibbs teams have decided that they want to go out, see where the speed of their car is, and then later get together as a group and go run just with the Gibbs car. That's the only thing I can figure. They don't want to be in a big pack. They just want to run by themselves.
Kyle Busch was able to run a lap, averaging 189 miles an hour. Denny Hamlin, 188.7. We'll see what Matt Kenseth can do. Now, will Matt Kenseth get any help because of the packs that are out on the track? If he can see them, is he getting help?
That's the general rule. If you can see them, they're helping you, but it's very difficult to tell. I think the wind is a bigger factor today because the wind's blowing so hard. You also get these wind gusts, so I think the wind's a bigger factor in determining how fast he's going to go, or the effect of how fast he runs.
One would think that Matt Kenseth should feel comfortable. 29 points ahead of the cut line.
So what do you do?
Well, at this racetrack, I was going to say, at this racetrack, we'll see packs running. Well, the pack will be close to 40 cars. And so if you're at the front of the pack or you're at the back of the pack, you're separated. There's 39 to 40 points that separates the front of the pack to the back of the pack. And no matter where you're running, that's how quickly things can happen. And these packs will cross the line. Sometimes the front of the pack and the back of the pack will cross the line in less than a second. You ask, what do you do? How about the two guys who felt like they were safe coming in? Kyle Busch was second in the standings, 26 points above. Denny Hamlin second in the standings, 18 points above the cutoff line. Both did not advance in those years.
Well, it's simple. They both didn't advance because of their finish. Look at 37th and 40th. So if you're Matt Kenseth, I think you have to play it conservative early, because if 29 points, if there's accidents or mechanical failures and 5, 6, 7, 8 cars go to the garage, you're mathematically in. Then you go race for the win. You know what's in front of you. But if you get 100 laps into this race and everyone's still running, I think at that point you kind of have to just bide your time and see who's running well. Does it look like a Chase Elliott can get to victory lane? There's somewhere near the front. And then at some point, you have to get in the pack. You cannot avoid it. I mean, that's what racing is about. It's a contest of speed. It's a contest to see who gets to the start-finish line first. So you can have all the strategies you want, Jeff, but at some point you have to race.
So the question I have, though, if you're Matt Kenseth, do you have to get in the pack? Right. I mean, because where you are in points, you know, a lot of people got to jump over you to beat you. So do you really have to get in the pack? Can you finish? I mean, if he finishes 35th, he's going to get in, right? I mean, if he finishes 35th, he'll most likely get in.
Most likely. Most likely.
So, I don't know. I think it's... listen, I'd rather be in his situation than Chase Elliott's.
Right.
Chase Elliott knows exactly what he has to do. He needs to win this race, period, end of story. You know, no question. Matt Kenseth, you know, Chase Elliott probably thinks better than Matt Kenseth does on Saturday night. Chase knows what he has to do. Matt Kenseth has some questions. And if you ride in the pack, you get in a wreck. Well, why are you riding in the pack?
Right.
If you ride in the back, you get in a wreck. Why are you riding in the back? You know, sometimes you can't win.
Another driver that's below the cut line, Austin Dillon. He's going to the garage, and Kelly Savage.
And Rick, but that points difference, 0. He and Joey Logano tied in points for that final spot, but Austin does not have the tiebreaker. That would go to Joey Logano. Would not expect to see him in a pack at all today, as his crew chief Slugger Lavin told me it just wasn't worth it to chance getting caught up in a wreck. Instead, they'll be making qualifying runs all day. And when I talked to Slugger about kind of race strategy, he said there isn't one. As soon as that green flag flies, it's all in the hands of Austin and his spotter. And then it reminded me, their season best finish right here at Talladega, it was third here in May. They made 17 pit stops that day. He said we were out of tires. The pit crew was just worn out, but that just goes to show that there really isn't any strategy that you can use. This car that they're racing today, the same super speedway car they have raced for all 3 races this season. They finished top 10 in all of them. Obviously, this is not the great point situation they hope to be in coming here, but they feel pretty good. I mean, they like the car that they have, and Austin is proven to be a good super speedway racer. Now they just hope that they'll find some friends with their Alliance team partners to help give them the pushes that they need when the race comes on Sunday.
Thanks, Kelly. That just goes back to your point, Jeff. What strategy do you use? Well, it's always going to be a moving target.